What it do, Moors? What it do, Moors? What it do, Moors? What it do, Moors? Man, like I can sing and rap. Ooh. Some of that ginger beer. Thank you, cousin. Yeah, what's up, family? Peace, 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 peace. Share this with your people, man. It's gonna be the last time I say share this with the people, so you can get rid of your feelings and your emotions. Get rid of your feelings and your emotions. Get rid of your feelings and your emotions. Oh man, it's a great time to be a Moorish American, man. I'm proud to be a Moorish American. At least I know I'm free. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How y'all doing, man? In the land of the living, how y'all doing? Come on, man. Y'all gotta tell the people we here, man. Y'all wanna hear this message? Share this with your people. Come on. We coming. I'll give everybody a minute to log in. Share this with your friends. I'm gonna illuminate you real fast to show you how you're being played on off the dribble. And it's the only people that look like you, the ones that's so-called putting you back in slavery, that you all like the words you like to use. So come on, man. Y'all want to hear some real science? Share it with your friends. I'll give you a minute to log on. Oh, yeah. Today's the time to remove your feelings, to remove your belief system. And let's deal with some things that we can be proven. Some things that can be proven, Moors. We don't have to trick nobody. We don't have to deal with nobody's dogma, or even, how can we say it? Destroy somebody's dogma. That ain't what I'm here to do. So we got a couple more minutes, man. We're gonna jump into science, because I like to give it at least 5 or 7 minutes for the family can log on. When I have my staff organized, they'll be like, boom, boom, like, we on. Oh yeah. Y'all feel me? Oh, let me see. Hold on. What did he say? I gotta get a new phone. It's been cutting my fingers up. I dropped my phone, y'all. So y'all good, Moors? Y'all do not want to miss this. I'm trying to give that grace period. Y'all do not want to miss this. Okay, I got you, Noble. I got you. Look at Isis, she over there. Todd, when I got off work already. Need to go lay down. Y'all all right? I'm telling you, man, I'm waiting. We only 5 minutes in. I like to get a grace period, because I'm only gonna do this one time. We 5 minutes in. Do y'all want it or not? And watch everybody start popping in a 10-minute period, like like popcorn. That's all right, because I just popped on. So I like to pop on. So y'all heard a lot of Moors going around saying they can nationalize you, right? Have y'all heard Moors going around saying that? Temples, they can nationalize you and they have the power to nationalize and denationalize and all that stuff. And some 1010 number, some trust fund. Y'all heard all that madness, right? Come on, Moors. So, you know what I mean? And then you got brothers and sisters arguing over what the prophet said, what this and that said. I'm like, man, why are we arguing over what somebody said? Why don't we talk about what the law says? Huh? Huh? Right? So it's some things that we need to put in the proper perspective, man, to make sure we all operating right, so we all can remove the ego and operate synchronized. Because what's happening right now, man, is a lot of people calling themselves or making up this thing like More Science Temple. But then what they doing with it is making up things as they go. Matter of fact, as I'm doing this, I wanna, cause I'm gonna clear a couple things up. Let me get the other booklet, because I want to do this, because this needs to be done. So if I'm gonna do it, I might as well go all the way out and eliminate it all, and let the chips fall where they may be. And after this, there is no way you should have any doubt of what I'm saying to you is valid, because we're not here to argue with our brothers and sisters. We're here to illuminate some things. So let me get one more piece of valid information, then we'll be ready. Oh yeah. I had to get one more piece of information. So we're gonna do this work, y'all. Islam family. Islam. I told y'all, we here to speak the truth and nothing but the truth. We're not here for no feelings. We're not here to hurt no one's feelings, because the truth has no sides. Truth has no freaking sides. And if somebody say they are more and they this and they doing that, they should be doing everything to benefit fallen humanity and not lying to people. We're going to be able to clean this up right now. And if any more is on here or listen to this, they can start making things up where you know the angle they're coming from. And all you got to do is exclude yourself from those individuals. That's all you have to do. Let them do their thing. When they see us, they know how we operating. Because in every group of people, you have people that do things, how can I say it, illegally and osmosisly, just making things up as they go. So we're going to focus on what we're doing. We're going to illuminate the right way to do things, and how everything about us can be looked up, and how everything about us is no secret. How everything about us, just like when I tell brothers, you arguing over what the prophet said. We're gonna illuminate what the prophet said. But then what you're not understanding the science and the words, you don't understand the real law. Because you talk about what the prophet said. And the prophet got these law things from the law. So you must go to the law, not what the prophet said. And then understand what the prophet said. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, as a scientist. I'm telling you. So when a person says, just like when empresses be sending me things and they be coming from their perspective, and then the first thing you see is a Negro jumping their inbox and talk, well, that ain't what the prophet said. All you doing is going word for word what you got out of some book. A kid can regurgitate the ABCs. What it mean? Come on, man. And see, and that's what we do. We say this and that and the other, but then when you look at how a person living, I don't care what you read. Who's with you? What we doing? We're building. So let's get some things in proper manifestation, man. Let me get a sip of this ginger beer, man. Got a little kick in it. I mean, let's be clear, because we gonna touch some topics today, baby, and we're gonna ruffle some feathers. So what? I'm about to turn to that owl at night. I'm about to turn to that owl at night. My head about to spin. I'm about to be asking, who, yeah, you, lying to the people. Playing on people's lack of. Praying on people lack of knowing. Because they're not connected to a true map. Well, I'm finna get you there, baby. Today. Oh, thanks for the donation. My phone broke, man, so I can't see nothing, man. Gratitude for the donation. Anytime anybody give a charitable contribution to the teachings, because the teachings mean something to you, I don't care if it's $5, $1, gratitude for you. Gratitude. Because we're going further, and all that goes to what we're doing. So gratitude to you for taking the time out your day to listen to what I'm saying, and taking the time out your day going through these trying times to give a piece of something that Allah have allowed you to keep making a living for yourself and take care of your family and donate a piece to us. That's gratitude. I'm always going to give gratitude. I don't care if it's a penny, because I'm a Buddha. I'm going to make that penny work. It's $1. 1 million people donate $1. That's $1 million. We on and popping, baby. So let's get it. Let's put something in a proper manifestation, man. Because I'm tired of people, especially these Moors, making these videos talk about somebody can nationalize you, some temple can nationalize you. That's how to the wizage. And that ain't even a word. That's my word. Listen clearly, man. Listen clearly, Moors. Y'all need to share this. Y'all need to, every more that y'all think, know some. These Moors that's in the temple, all that, they know out the sound of my mouth, they know exactly what I'm saying. Nobody can nationalize you. Nobody has the right to nationalize you and denationalize you. No man and no woman can nationalize you or denationalize you. That's a figgity fact. Period. Because if you read carefully, you understand what our ID cards are for. Man, I gotta go in. Should I go in my safe? Yes, give me 1 second. If I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it, Isis. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, but oh well.
Oh well.
All right, let me write something down. I done did this plenty times. I'm gonna do it again. I ain't here to trick my people. Anything can get corrupt when people try to say this and that, and they arbitrarily try to explain things. It's a certain way the temple set up, all that. What our prophet says, when people say, well, each temple got their own bylaws, you a lie. It's just like if you working for telecommunications or you a college recruiter. If you working for me, example, when I was a director for a college recruiting at a couple of colleges, I would have to teach my people a script. I had to make up the script. So in the script, I have bullets I wanted you to hit right in line. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. And you had to go strictly off that script. Once you got it, you can go off the script. But ain't no temple got the right just to be making up shit as they go, telling people they can nationalize them and do all this fraudulent things and this and that and the other, telling people they need to get some silver notes and all this garbage and that and the other and all this and this and that and the other. I'm like, come on, man. That ain't how we don't do that to our people. And we know we shouldn't be operating like that. And I don't care what nobody say. You know, and if you think I'm saying something wrong, man, and you know I'm not. I'm talking about for them people that's out here making this stuff up. If brothers and sisters want to be a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which our prophet said, God damn it, it's the duty of the sheiks to make them a member of the temple. If you ain't going to do nothing, nationalize them through the temples, make them members of the temples, which our prophet said do. In no way temples in every neighborhood and everybody in the neighborhood, not Moorish Americans through the temple, got their tribal cards through the temple. No way. No way. Telling people that you're nationalizing them. Stop. Don't do that to people. Don't stop confusing people. Because matter of fact, man, I can go so deep with this. Hold on. I got to get all the tools out, because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the surgery. Give me 1 second. I need one more piece of my medical tools. Give me 1 second. If I'm going to do it, I might as well go ahead and do the work. Oh, and I need this. Let me find the page let me find my page. And then I'll proceed. Oh, bam, there it go right there. I knew where I was going with it. Bam. So I'm illuminate some of this too, to get you a right perspective, to show you this outline of flesh right here. You can get mad all you want. You can get mad all you want. Don't make me no different. I'ma still be me. I'ma still move with my young nobles and my empresses, and we going higher and higher, because this the upper echelon. This the clock of destiny right here, baby. We not gonna play around with nobody, lying to our people, getting them caught up in garbage, in colorable law. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna sit back and watch that and say, oh, he did mean it. Yes, he did. You meant it when you was doing it. You meant it when you ain't thought no brother gonna step up and defend the people. That's right. They just been conned. They just been caught up in fraudulent concealment because you premeditated on them. So let's walk down this thin line. Because let me tell you something about no matter what type of organization or what type of, thank for the donation, Noble. Yep, it's Cash App, $KG Bay. My Noble said everybody should have gave a damn donation. He said, how the hell you cleaning this shit up like this and nobody don't give a donation? They will, Noble, but we don't press people. We going private real soon, Noble. But gratitude for your compassion. I got some of my Nobles in Flint on here too. They don't understand who you are. Yes, they do, Noble. That's why we'll be gone real soon, but gratitude. And thank you for your donation. And I give you gratitude for your donation, Noble, and the family. You can hear me, but gratitude. He don't even know how to type on here. Like, man, how can I type on here? You on a whole different platform, Noble. I'm on YouTube, and you on a meeting with the other family. Sorry about that, y'all. But anyway, let's start with some things first. When every Moor from the temple, all the temple, this is the thing when people say they lying to you. Oh, we can go this, we can make this up, we can do this, we can do this. No, if you a temple, there's certain ways you're going to do things. And you're going to do things based off the holy nation state. That's number one. And you know that's true because it's a proper way we do things. But then when our ID cards, if it's Moorish Science Temple of America, our ID cards should look the same. And it's just what it is. Our nationality cards, all our nationality cards, all our stuff, come on, man. And y'all know it's the truth. You know it, Yabani. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is my guide and my protector by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam, Shalom Alakim, Hotep, Ayah Asha Ayah, Assalamu Alaikum. Peace be with you. Come on, they know it. And then on the back of our cards, it says the Moorish Bureau of Vital Statistics, registered Muslims. Listen to me and tell me anymore. Tell me, am I lying? It got our water sealing on the back. When you move it a little bit, you can see all the water colors on the back. If you see it moving, you see like the little hologram colors on it. When you can know we belong to a certain body politic. It's just what it is. So the Moorish Bureau of Vital Statistics, registered Muslims, the ecclesiastical body politic established via CCRD. Remember that, keep that in your head because I'm going to read another document to y'all. CCRD, document 1010, 5905, book 521, page 579, Cook County, Illinois, on August 1st, 1928, 2:52 p.m. 5 + 2 + 2 is what? 9. I'm going to break that mathematics down all the time. Anyway, keep that in your hippocampus. Moorish Science Temple of America, Charter of Warrant, and Dispensation, Affidavit of Organization, Form 1099, MSTA, Divine Constitution and Bylaws, Act and Classification, National Archives Record Group 147, Book 5-21, Page File 5-39, U.S. DOD File Number 1-17, Federal Code 463, Asiatic, Federal Code 667, more, Unique Identifier 1237-7, Hierarchical Code R1.01.05, 2.004.US DOJ BM $144-144-35-0. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. The bearer of this card is an enrolled member. Did y'all listen to what I just said, Yabani? Tell these fools stop playing with you. This bearer of the card is an enrolled member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This card is acceptable proof of membership and citizenship of this trust corpus. I hope you know what that means and you don't get caught up taking that shit out of context with these Moors lying to you. I do hereby declare that the holder of this card is a Muslim under the divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I am a citizen of the U.S.A. And don't get your panties all in the ruffle for that. We got to teach that. Noble Drew Ali, the prophet. If lost or stolen, please return to the Moorish Science Temple of America. The Moorish Science Temple of America. 259 North Pulaski Road, Chicago, Illinois. Whatever. Hell, I ain't got nothing to hide. And a lot of people that's part of it, they ain't right no more neither. I ain't gonna protect nobody. I stand the truth, and I stand alone. Make me no different. The Moorish Science Temple of America, this is our nationality card. I just read this was our tax exempt card. Oh yeah, the Moorish Science Temple of America got a tax exempt number. So any other body telling you they talk about this white man, this stuff, that white, well, the Moorish Science Temple of America, we got a tax exempt number. And any Negro telling you we don't, they a freaking lie. Because every Moorish Science Temple of America should have the same freaking tax ID number. Tell me I'm lying, because we got one. You can't tell me I'm lying. I'm gonna cover it up, but I'm gonna show you. You see that right there? What that say? That's our tax exempt number at the bottom. Y'all can see that. And it works. Just like mine worked for our temple. So can't nobody say nothing. They lying to you. They just lying. They just lying. Same thing on the back of our ID on this one. So this one is our nationality card right here. Same thing on the back of this one. Same thing on the back of these of our three cards. Let me be clear on that. These cards don't mean nothing. They don't replace nothing. Every one of them say, I do hereby declare that the holder of this card is a Muslim under the divine law of the Holy Quran. This is the bearer of this card is an enrolled member. The bearer of this card is an enrolled member. The bearer of this card is an enrolled member. Come on, man. There's other work we have to do. We have to take it to the world courts. I'm not going to pull all my documents to prove this to you. I'm not going to pull all my documents. I done did this a million times. You've been played. They playing goofy games with y'all. They playing checkers. Then I heard a goofy Negro. Look. the thing about it's so funny with us. We don't understand what like a power of attorney is, and when somebody have the right to you to represent you as a body when you put something together. That's just like any fraternity or any group of people, anything. People are so stupid because they don't know how organizations work. That's how idiotic we are. But we ain't dealing with those. We're gonna let them doubt and fall with the Titanic. We're gonna let them fall with the Titanic. We ain't even gonna entertain people that won't investigate something that they don't know. And the first thing they'll do is start dissing things. We ain't rocking with that. I told y'all I'm cheers. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. Thanks for the donation, Noble. Yep, thanks for the donation. So, this is your nationality and identification card for the Moorish Science Temple of America and birthrights for the Moorish Americans, etc. We honor all the divine prophets. Jesus, our prophet said Jesus. You got to know why he said Jesus. Never with a J in the Hebrew dialect. These is facts. So, Yeshua, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, may the blessings of God, our Father, Allah, be upon you that carried this card. I do hereby declare that you are a Muslim under the divine law of the Holy Quran of Mecca. Love, true peace, freedom, and justice. I am a citizen of the U.S.A. Noble Drew Ali, the Prophet. 5933 West Madison, Chicago, Illinois, 60644. Don't get your panties ruffled when they say I am a citizen, because you got to understand the science. Now let me go back and regurgitate something. When I go back to, and I hate to do this, man, but I got to do this. I love my brothers that's under the Hebrew banner. I love my brothers under the so-called Egyptian banner, the Hotep banner. And then I just love all my brothers that's conscious, and then they think they making money in the stock market. And I say, whatever. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to say with that. I know we can go through the classes, and when we get our temple, I'm gonna show y'all, I got the science how to walk you through to learn the stock market. I can't guarantee you nothing. Once you learn it, it's on you. Just like when I show you how to set up your business, it's on you. I guarantee you. So let's go back to when we talk about the word Jesus and things. And so when you would get a brother like, say, under the Hebrew banner, and they'll say Elohim. But see, and I love wordplay, but then you have to give it all. And Elohim, we'll break it down, and we'll say the E-L-O is feminine, and the him is masculine. Okay, I get that. When a person try to make significance on wordplay, and I'm like, you can't play that linguistic game with me. I'll rise above that. You say, well, because see, that means the woman came first. And I'm like, man, what are you talking about? Like, okay, it takes both. It takes the male to even for the woman to do something. And then it takes that garden to produce it. So it takes both to even make some shit happen. So the argument is based on bullshit. So then when we get with so-called Jesus, and then we can deal with the masculine and feminine, I can tell you Yahweh. The Yah is masculine and the way is feminine. And so when people play that word game with you, I'm like, man, you ain't making no sense. That's just for inner motherfucking entertainment. And niggas be thinking this shit heavy. I'm like, they playing with y'all because y'all don't know. No, you can't do that to me, because I'm gonna sit here like this. I might go to sleep with that goofy shit. Excuse my candor again. Because a lot of stuff would be so idiotic to me. I'm like, man, I'll be like, man, come on, man. Tomato, tomato. Bologna, bologna. You said the Elohim is the woman first and the man. Okay, great. But it takes both. So what you saying? So then we can get with Yahweh. If you understand Hebrew and you breaking down all these words and its etymology, okay, I can say what is Yahweh? The male and the feminine, right? Yeah. Well, let's break it down. The Yah, the way, right? So how would we break it down? Because we didn't use any vowels and things. The Y-A-H, the Yah. We put the A in there with the YHWH, the tetragrammaton. We know this. We can agree to that. Yep. All these Negroes say, what's the tetragrammaton? We know the YHWH. I can show you that in Egypt history. You had two Hebrew pharaohs, Sibikos and Sabatos, but that's not even on the level what I'm talking about. So if we can agree with the tetragrammaton, the YHWH, where we get Yahweh from the A and the E, the masculine and the feminine. We ain't getting no big old issue. Well, no, the woman came first and this, that. No, it takes us both. What the fuck is we arguing? Why are we trying to separate? Let me give you another fucking analogy. Why, sure, brother babe. The Baphomet. What is the Baphomet? The symbol, male and female. All that. Cold Volta. All that. So what are we talking about? You want me to give you another symbology? The so-called 6-point star, the top coming together, the bottom coming together, creating life with the child in the middle. What we talking about? Male and female creating life. What's the argument? Where's the argument at? Now we're talking Kabbalistically, and we can trump everything. So all the byproducts of what you talk about, that's for us to set trip on each other. You see how how real fast I just connected that from science, and nobody should have nothing to say but like Islam, because our whole mission should be synchronized in this. The only difference from us is the way we dress. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with all these outside gods. Don't nobody want to hear that. Don't nobody want to hear it. I ain't got time for all that outside God, man. And y'all know exactly what I'm saying. I'm telling you science. And if anybody disagree with that, you just arguing on the base of arguing. And you know exactly what I'm saying. Well, the woman can't be God because she just this. Okay, well then the woman can say the same thing. Well, the male can't be God. Why? Because we both need each other. So we got to interdepend on each other. And Negroes don't even know what interdepend on what mean. I'm like, why? What you mean? You can't have one without the other. Come on, goofy. That's that sick Greek mythology. That male, male, male. How you gonna reproduce? Come on, man. Don't be that stupid. Don't let them see us on TV and only arguing over or would you like to say, well, not arguing. This is my nemesis. Bullshit. Y'all doing this shit for ratings, playing with people unintelligence. You can't come to me with that because I'm gonna break the science down. Elohim, woman and male, okay. Yahweh, male, woman, okay. The so-called 6-point star, the masculine, the feminine coming together, the Baphomet, the masculine and feminine. What are you talking about? What's the argument? What came first? What are you talking about? You see? You see how some things, when you really think about it and you get on a whole level of peace, because as Moors, you're supposed to be on a whole level of peace that trump everything. We're on a whole nother level of Islam. You're on a whole nother level of Islam, man. With the outside Islam, I hear you. And that's why I'm trying to get us to hear. So let's finish the teaching. What I've elevated. So I done showed y'all two things that we can throw out the door when they lying to us. So now let's get when brother just be making up stuff. Oh, I'm the Moorish Science Temple of this, and I'm the Moorish Science Temple of that. Okay, well, you should get some stuff through the temple. And it's just what it is. And every Moor should have this. And then they try to say, well, this don't matter no more. If you set up some rules and you set up some things a certain way to do it, nobody abolished it. We just got to move in the house, the furniture in there, and just continue to do what we doing righteously. And then if we can't find it righteously, that's why I use this internet to connect with my brothers and sisters and ask for donations for people can come in so I can build a temple just like the prophet did. An education house, elementary, all that. I don't care about old dogs. I care about our young nobles, our seniors, and our babies, and our empresses. That's my mission. And the less fortunate that rock with me. We creating young Moors bosses. So all Moors want to say this don't matter, and I say that can't be true if something don't matter if you establish a certain way and a certain standard. So let's go with one of the pieces that the Moors should have. And they'll say, oh, it don't matter no more. Yes, it does. If you say you're the Moorish Science Temple of America, it's a certain way you still can do business to represent the prophet. I'm telling you, and if anybody don't know law, you crazy. You don't know how body politics is established. They can still operate if the originator is gone. If the so-called straw man is gone, we can still represent. Why? Because we are the body. These is facts. We can represent. We have the signature, everything. You can do that. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. If you're right. So let's deal with it, man. The United States of America, Free National Republic, 1774. The U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, 1863. The Amnesty Oath. Every Moor that say they from the temple, they should have this. If they don't have it, what they gonna say? Well, it don't matter no more. They gonna try to arbitrarily explain and make some stuff up. And I'm like, that ain't how it rock. If we all Moorish Science Temple, we should all be on a certain standard, and it should be a certain way we rock. I, Khari Goodman Bey, do solemnly affirm in the presence of the Almighty God that I will henceforth faithfully support, protect, and defend the Constitution. What? Not overthrow. So when Moors say they trying to create their own government and all that garbage, they say they temple, they out of line right there, y'all Moors, and y'all know I'm telling the truth. So you should be done dealing with that right there and come on home. Come on home. I ain't got to go no further. So when the Moors said we here to overthrow and create, I don't know, you wrong. Based off the teachings of our prophet, flat out. So let me start over again. I, Khari Hakeem Goodman Bey, do solemnly affirm in the presence of Almighty God that I will henceforth faithfully support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Union of the States thereunder, and that I will, in like manner, abide by and faithfully support all acts of Congress passed during the existing rebellion with reference to slaves, so long, so forth, as not repealed, modified, or held void by Congress or by decision of the Supreme Court, and that I will, in like manner, abide by and faithfully support all proclamations of the President made during the existing rebellion having reference to slaves, so long, so forth, as not modified or declared void by decision of the Supreme Court. So help me God. Another document of what you get. It's just what it is. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Ali, to register all nobles of the house of Bay to their title of nobility, pursuant to Leviticus 25:10. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Ali, Moorish Americans are of the royal house of Judah, descendants of King David. So what are we destroying? Nothing. What are we doing? Illuminating. Fee simple absolute deed. Listen. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. His father Ham, the one that your Christian people talk about is some stupid ass curse of Ham, that dumb shit because he looked at his dad naked, and y'all fall for that goofy shit. Excuse my candor again. And his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexima. You really know it was Abyssinia. Research it. The first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the Father and the Son, the dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. In later years, many of their brethren from Asia and Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. So that's why when you see in Deuteronomy, they say a Canaanite and a Amorite and a Hittite can't so-called enter the kingdom of God. Why? They playing you. They're trying to rewrite history. And every scholar know I'm telling the truth. Their dominion and habitation extended from north, east, and southwest Africa across the great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands before the great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. When we talk about America BC, it's a book by a European named Barry Fell. When we talk about Pangea, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Y'all know, but I'll get deep with the science, man. That's why the kids gonna love when I teach them. We don't care about nobody just talking and arguing with us for the sake of arguing. We about to create something. Well, I already created something. I just need the people. And we ain't got to talk about what somebody doing or what somebody lying about, because I don't care about what nobody else doing. I know who I am, and I'm going to continue to rock like that. Oh, so now I'm going to show y'all another piece of paper. On the bottom, you can see our little, you probably can't see our little water seal at the bottom. It's like the compass, it's like the crescent and the star on the bottom. It's like a water seal. It's kind of blind to the eye. But anyway, this is my 720 dispensation. And Morris be getting mad. Oh, yeah. I be like, yeah, whatever. I bet you ain't gonna refute the science I'm coming with. I don't forget the Morris Science Temple. I'm still a scholar in the real world. You can throw the Morris Science Temple America out the window. I'm still adept. I'm still a scholar. I'm still a trainer. I'm still a businessman. I'm still gonna wear all my hats. Man, this stuff's strong. It's ginger beer. I love ginger beer, man. My little snack for myself. But it's spicy. And I put a little pepper in it. But here go my 720 dispensation. We, the Supreme Grand Body and Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America, deriving its powers and authority from the great God Allah and his prophet Noble Drew Ali, whom Allah has sent to redeem his people, the fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America. So I ain't tripping on nobody come with that Islam stuff. I ain't here to argue with you. I'm just on a higher level of Islam. And my Islam don't mean no damn submission. My Islam mean peace. When I say Allah, I'm talking about I, self, law, and arm, leg, arm, head. I'm talking about pentagram. I'm talking about man. When I say Islam, I'm talking about I, self, law, and master. In more science, God and man is one. Anything outside yourself is true shirk. And I don't rock with that. I'm just on a higher level of Islam. I'm on that Tasawwuf level. I'm on that Sufism level. And I ain't here to debate nobody with their man-made religion. I ain't got time for that. But the said Supreme Grand Body and Council is authorized and empowered to initiate and confer degrees of said temple upon any person or persons duly proposed, qualified, and approved in accordance with the established forms, usage of the laws and edicts of the illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America, its jurisdiction to administer to all true members all the privileges and benefits to all Muslims of the West, Noble K. Goodman Bey. So when I had my metaphysical temple out here and I had the Moors meeting with me, when I started, because I came in already as a scholar. Just because you got a sheik, you can have a person in a sheik, that doesn't mean they know the bylaws. That don't mean they know any science, I'm telling you. That's why I don't reveal none of these men names, because it ain't for that. When you young and when you younger than all them, and when you see the game and you your own boss, I gotta say it like that because Allah got you, and they coming to your building, you ain't coming to nothing for them begging. You already been in the science, and this is your establishment. You can tell a person to kick rocks if they lying to the people. And I told them all to kick rocks. Some of them went to jail. And I ain't gonna talk about it, about them names personally, but y'all know that, because that's what happening. Okay, so it says that the Moorish Science Temple of America is jurisdiction to administer to all true members all their privileges and benefits to all Muslims of the West. Noble K. Goodman Bey. 720 degrees is hereby granted dispensation of said depth and here to the vast estate. Y'all don't even know what the vast estate really mean. And express trust of Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the domain of Kush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest Africa was his father's domain of Africa. Old man Kush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan, pursuant to U.S. Department of Justice, capital BM $, HR capital 1 WD $144-35-0. That's the agreement. I got my other 720 dispensation. This is the first one I just read right here. That's the one right here. This is the second one I'm reading. We, the Supreme Grand Body and Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America, grant sovereign powers by the great God Allah and his illustrious power, Noble Drew Ali. His prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Greetings to who this may concern. By the powers of the Charter of Warrant and Dispensation, this Supreme Grand Body bestow a title of nobility to member. And can't nobody sell you no damn charter. That's fraud too. That's just like somebody trying to sell you a barber's license. It's all fraud. You ain't thinking? Come on, man. Don't let nobody play with you. Can't nobody kick you out of nothing either. This ain't that. By the powers of the Charter of Warrant and Dispensation, this Supreme Grand Body bestow a title of nobility to member Kari Hakim Goodman Bey, that is descended from the royal house of Judah and the house of David. By the power of the decree, it is so ordered and commanded by the illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali, agent of the Christian Church, the Vatican, or any of the corporations in the Roman Curia, can't molest, trespass, or violate our divine rights granted by the great God Allah, some that you was born with. When everybody be talking about their birthrights, I'm like, okay, what's your birthright? I don't know, just talking. Well, shut up then. By the powers of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali to register all nobles of the house of El. Now we talking to our Els, to their title of nobility, pursuant to Leviticus 25:10. Read Leviticus 25:10. By the power of this decree, it is ordered and commanded by our illustrious prophet, Noble Drew Ali, pursuant to our authority. All Moorish Americans are exempt from prosecution except for murder or rape. And when I say exempt from prosecution, you got to understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying you above the law. That ain't what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, when I'm talking about being judged fairly and not being judged like a Negro, that's what I'm saying. And y'all know what I'm saying. Here go my 720 Allah. But let me see. I'm just going to show y'all everything. We're going to walk slowly. This is another 720 dispensation. This is the 720 Allah. May Allah, excuse me, may Allah blessings and protections always be upon the house of Bey, title of nobility, certificate, Noble K. Goodman Bey, registry of nobles, house of Bey, a descendant of the royal house of Judah. And then my other one is my house of Bey 720. The house of Bey, title of nobility 720, Moorish American Muslim. And like I said, when you join things, just like Brother Malcolm was part of things. Brother Malcolm was in it all the way until he was just a free thinker. And he got illuminated and Allah was on him. The same way it was me. And I'm telling you, all the temples is not right. It's a couple of them is right. And the temple don't make you right. None of this paperwork make you right. You make you right. And the wisdom make you an adept. Not nobody giving you some stupid ass paperwork. That's a fool. They'll do that just because. So here we go with my other adapt chamber. When I be telling Moors, I'm like, man, they lying to y'all. I'm like, they lying to y'all. I'll take you through the adapt chamber. I promise you, I will walk you through the adapt chamber, the wisdom. They be like, the adapt chamber, they gonna sit down and y'all gonna have some conversations. What, barbershop talk? Y'all gonna have barbershop talk with a whole bunch of old people. Man, stop playing. What's your life like? What's this science about after all this old stuff? After all this old stuff, how you living? What are people around you? What y'all doing? What y'all own? What y'all own in the community? Nothing. Miss me with that. You talk about some adapt chamber. What the adapt chamber gonna do for you if you poor as hell? You just wanna know a whole bunch of stuff that ain't gonna do nothing for you? Please. You don't know nothing about no vibrations. You don't know nothing about no tribe. You don't know nothing about no organization. You poor and broke. You asking somebody for something. Please, you don't know how to pull yourself up by your bootstraps with your tribe. You don't understand one nationality, many cultures. So, this is my Adapt Chamber 720, my Muslim Missionary Degrees Certificate. Supreme Grand Body and Supreme Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America in Mecca have been vested the sovereign powers by the great God Allah and his illustrious prophet Noble Drew Ali to confer degrees of a Muslim of the West to a person or persons that has been raised 180 degrees from a shadow grave, son of a widow in a North Gate. I, Noble K. Goodman Bey, my obligation as a Muslim missionary, by free will, the obligation of the nobility of the elect of the Moorish Science Temple of America, teaching the Asiatics of North, South, and Central America to love instead of hate. To love instead of hate. As I travel the burning sands from the east to the west in 39 celestial steps, with my staff of comfort, my companion, the beast of burden, and my Hebrew master logo of perfection, I do here upon my holy Quran, the circle 7, demonstrate my degrees to raise fallen humanity from its imperfections with the degrees of social duties, justice, charity, gratitude, and sincerity. In my travels, Allah guide my feet in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I shall not give ear to falsehood, hypocrisy, and deceit. As I travel the burning sands, I possess my charter of warrant. Yeah, you heard me. As I travel, when I say you looking at you looking at it right now, as I travel the burning sands, when I travel all over, I possess my charter of warrant and my dispensation and my authority to pass through all ports unmolested with my divine rights and privileges. All sons of a Muslim must hold true to the obligation to nobles. So when I be saying who is son of the Muslim, the European is a son of a Muslim. They know who I am. Y'all ain't listening. I say, so let me go back. As I travel the burning sands, I possess my charter of warrant and dispensation, my authority to pass through all ports unmolested with my divine rights and privileges. All sons of a Muslim must hold true to its obligation to nobles. I'm a noble. Muslims and the Mohammedan by words and deeds. Now go ask your dad, that's a Negro Mason. He probably gonna act like, oh, who you was talking about. He gonna ask you who you was talking to. Moorish Science Temple of America, my baptism. Secretary of Defense, full agreement, October 12th, 1953, conferred August the 2nd, 1966, file number 1-17, Washington 25, Washington 25-DC, Pentagon, Moorish Science Temple of America, my baptism certificate. Here go my redeemed surety bond. And y'all thinking it's talk about some money and stuff, because y'all letting them goofball Negroes telling you some stupid shit. Excuse my candor again. They getting y'all caught up in garbage, and I'm laughing. I say what I'm saying on the corner with a bullhorn. People will take this and get it all twisted because they know you don't know. Not me. We gonna educate and illuminate. When we have the right to do everything I'm saying, I need the people. Here go my Moorish Science Temple of America, my baptism certificate. The address in Chicago, the name given at birth, my name, Khari Hakeem Goodman. My free national name given at my baptism, Noble Khari Goodman Bey. True race, Asiatic. Nationality, Moorish American. Religion, Islamism. My conversion, or I mean not my conversion, my conveyance date. The date of my conveyance. My CCRD doc, the 1010-5905, BK 529, page 579. My status, free white person. The date of baptism was when I went through the temple was 10/26/16. Birth certificate, surety bond. The number on it. I ain't gotta give y'all that because every more that's through it, y'all should know. My mother name, my father name, and then it says one that possesses this baptismal certificate has been redeemed by illustrious prophet Noble Drew Ali and delivered by a fee simple absolute deed that restore all rights and property. Said person has been revoked from the St. Peter's Trust and Magna Carta Charter Christian enrollment that held my person in bondage. I am a Muslim of the West, a descendant of the Moroccans, and born in America. We, the Supreme Grand Body, bestow privileges and benefits and grant dispensation of said person by birthright and original inhabitant of North and Southwestern shores of Amexem. Period, man. We ain't gonna play with our people, man, and get them caught up. And none of this mean nothing. Once again, none of this mean nothing. I'm telling you, if you ain't right. None of this mean nothing. This membership stuff, it's a higher level to take it. And I showed y'all where we took it to the higher level. Now in the flesh, we got to take it higher. Prepared by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Grand Sheik, the Moorish Science Temple of America, Internal Consulate of Moorish Americans, the number and everything, the temple, and it just breaks stuff down. Ain't nobody finna lie to you. You gotta have a consulate to do things, to handle the business, to break out the IDs and things. Come on, man, that's it. Here go my certificate of adoption. My certificate of adoption for the Moorish Science Temple of America. Claim of adoption by proclamation of free national name and nationality. My printed full name, my date of birth, all that stuff. The month when I was born, all that. With the birth color, blah, blah, blah. My race was black, has been adopted by claimant and proclaimed the race Asiatic, nationality, Moorish American, and one free national name, Bay. Didn't Obama tell you in 2010 you have a right of a nationality and the right to claim it? No one will be arbitrated, died of a nationality and the right to change it, and to claim a child replaces the birth certificate. Y'all doing all this other stuff because y'all just let somebody tell y'all something. You doing things on your own, and that stuff means poo to the diddly. But who am I? That's why I tell people just wait. Wait till you find someone that's righteous, and then we can go together. For this trust corpus is with the proclamation by the claim of this person, born in the city of Hillsburg County. Y'all don't need all that. My mama name, my dad name, blah, 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 blah. I'm not gonna go all there because no need. Certificate of enrollment. Certificate of enrollment, National Bureau of Vital Statistics. In accordance with the true policies of Noble Drew Ali and President Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Johnson, this document exists as a certification that is that the individual indicated below has taken and subscribed an oath of amnesty and reconstructed, which is affirmation of the Emancipation Proclamation with allegiance to the Republic Constitution of the United States of America, including the 13th Amendment with 20 sections and the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic nation. This individual has also proclaimed a free national name, race, nationality, and religion as follows. Title, my title, Noble K. Goodman Bay. Race, Asiatic. My birth date, date of my proclamation, location of my proclamation, nationality, Moorish American, birthplace, Florida, my religion, old time Islamism. The free national name Bay must be annexed as a suffix to the so-called slave family name. But that's where I disagree. But that's a whole other thing when we talk about slave, because I ain't no slave. But to the slave family last name of the individual in all public and private records throughout the state, states and nations, etc., upon the complete implementation of the sections 16 and 17 of the 13th Amendment with 20 sections to the U.S. Constitution. The individual will receive a full permanent ancestral name, assistance through the Freedmen's Bureau Act of 1865, and protections guaranteed under the federal mandate through the United States government. Are we clear what the hell I just said? Come on, because I'll bring it back. Do y'all want me to bring that back? Talk to me. Because see, I can show you how to get there. Everything else you're doing is BS. And one little slip up, you could have did yourself. You could have put yourself all the way back. That's why it's nothing wrong with having a map and a guide. That's why it's nothing wrong with having a map and a guide. It's nothing wrong, because I asked more, what would you doing before you heard of this 2 or 3 years ago? So why should you be jumping to be a paper pusher, being looked at as a paper terrorist before you know the science? That don't even make sense. Let me say this one more time. The free national name, Bay, must be annexed, or your L, annexed, as a suffix to the so-called slave family last name of the individual in all public and private records throughout the states and nations, upon the complete implementation of sections 16 and 17 of the 13th Amendment with 20 sections to the U.S. Constitution. The individual will receive a full permanent ancestral name, assistance through the Freedmen's. Oh, thank for the donation. Hey, look, let me tell you what my Noble just said. He said, Noble, you see, I'm so tired of people just giving you one way. You breaking this shit down too simple. Yeah, Noble. Don't let nobody just tell you one way. Are we illuminating today, baby? But yeah, through the Freedmen's Bureau Act of 1865 and protections guaranteed under the federal mandate through the United States government. Absolutely, Noble. Here go my ecclesiastical body politic and local government, the Moorish Bureau of Enrollment and Affairs. I ain't got to read all through that because I'm going through it. Here's a lot of our stuff. The beneficiary conditions of the fee simple absolute vast estate trust. The tax exempt number. When I tell y'all we got a tax exempt number, y'all be talking about that 8822 number. I'm like, okay, but that's for the indigenous people. You're gonna get caught up because they're gonna bring charges on everybody. When you use that, it's a record. What the receipt? But who am I? Anything got to be done. I got the tax exempt. I got the grantor. I got the grantee TR number for the notary. All that. All that is here. Our divine constitution and bylaws. All this come with it. And none of this mean nothing if you ain't right. Period. So now we finna get to another document. When people be saying some 1010 number, some stupid trust. I ain't here to hate on nobody, but I'm here to illuminate, and this is my last time doing this. You got to get out of just following people. You got to get out of people just letting you, just telling you things. All you got to do is put a clean glass to a dirty glass, and the clean glass ain't got to say nothing. You should want to follow the clean glass and the people that's with the clean glass, because we moving and growing. So I'm finna read another document to you to show you that people be lying to y'all once again. I'm finna read a document from y'all from the county of Illinois, the county of Cook of Illinois. I wrote all on this, but I got so many documents. I sent this to one brother when he thought he was doing something with these Moors. He started crying because it played his whole family. And he been rocking with me. He was just like, I'm just embarrassed. I said, don't be embarrassed. No, but he just glad he met me before he started doing all the other stuff. Because he was getting ready to go down a hole he couldn't come out of. I'm telling you what I know. So I'm about to read something to you. Get out of your feelings. Get out of your feelings. Karen A. Yarbrough, Recorder of Deeds, Register of Torrens Titles, Cook County, Illinois. Via email, July 8, 2016. It's going to Sheikh Love L, Sheikh's Multa, or Molat, M-O-A-L-T, D Love L, Moorish Science Temple of America, Moorish Home Office at gmail.com. This is why I be telling you, man, I don't care if you got a title of Moorish Science Temple or this, that, and the other. If you're going to lie to people or not share the information, you got a motive. My motive is to resurrect my people and have us a spiritual house and an educational house and a business house like the Silicon Valley so we can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. All we want to do is be recognized as Moorish Americans internationally. If they want to give something, that's on the rest of the world. I ain't worried about that. It's enough of us that can do something together to where we ain't tripping. So let me read this to you. Sheikh and Sheikh is Love L. Anybody can look this stuff up. In the past few days, the Cook County Recorder of Deeds, which is the CCRD Moors, has received several forms of email correspondence from you regarding concerns that you have involved in the organizational documents and other documents relating to the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is the acronym is the MSTA. I am writing to address these concerns and clarify the role that the CCRD has as the custodian of public records. Public records mean anybody can see them for a fee if you want it certified. Come on, think about it. Many of your concerns were raised in the form of numbered questions. The CCRD's response to these questions are as follows, and I quickly quote, in her capacity as the Register of Torrens Titles, what is the full scope of the fiduciary duty owed to document 1010-5905 and the resulting entity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, as a body politic, named in said document? The response, and I quote, after reading your question, I assume that you are asking what the recorder's duties and responsibilities are in relation to this and other documents. In this regard, the recorder has two specific duties and responsibilities. First, the recorder is responsible for recording documents that are entitled to be recorded. Second, the recorder has the responsibility of being the custodian of all recorded documents. Thank for the donation, Noble. What do you say? He's like, everybody should be giving a donation. It's 12 people. Yep, it's Cash App $ KGB. But we going private real soon, Noble, so that's okay. You know, that's all right. Document 1010-5905 is an affidavit of the organization under the Religious Corporation Act, 805 ILCS 110 lowercase et.seq. Under the Religious Corporations Act, there are specific requirements that need to be met in order for a document to be recorded pursuant to that act. See 805 ILCS 110-36. At that time that this document was presented to the CCRD, it met all of those requirements and it was recorded. As custodian for this document and other recorded documents, unless specifically restricted by law, the documents are made available for purchase by the public. See 55 ILCS 5-4-12002. In other words, if a customer or if you request to purchase a certified or non-certified copy of this document that I have from the CCRD will provide such a copy to the customer if they pay the fee. I don't care what nobody try to make up. You're going to get the real with me. The CCRD has no other duties and responsibilities relating to this particular document. In other words, the CCRD is simply a custodian of this record and makes this available to the public for a fee. What are the procedures for filing documents under the 805 ILCS Religious Corporations Act related to property, mortgage, notes, etc.? So listen to this. This is the response. Real estate related documents such as property deeds, mortgages, or notes are not recorded under the Religious Corporation Acts. For recording requirements for real estate related documents, please see the state recording statute at 55 ILCS 5 ET.SEQ. It ain't no damn property deeds or nothing. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. They can talk about some trust. What trust? Ain't no pot of gold at the rainbow. Miss me with that bull crap. What are the procedures for including the Moorish Science Temple of America to the list of body politics on file with the Cook County Recorder of Deeds? Response. The CCRD does not maintain a list of no damn body politics. With this said, as mentioned above, the CCRD accepts documents relating to the organization and corporation of religious entities under the Religious Corporations Act. The document that you are concerned with, document 1010-5905, has already been recorded by the damn CCRD. Now, here go the next question. Isn't it true that in accordance to provisions, listen what they say now. Isn't it true that in accordance to provisions made possible for the body politics under home rule, that documentation and laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic are applicable to the management of said trust? Once again, that's bullshit. Listen to this. Response. The CCRD is unaware of what specific documentation and laws are applicable to the management of any trust maintained by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I would like to note that the Religious Corporations Act states that trustees of religious organizations shall have the care, custody, and control of the real and personal property of that organization. See 805 IL CS 110-43. The CCRD is not a trustee of any trust or trust assets being held by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Because I'm telling you, it ain't none. Has this office done any competent research to determine who are the current executive rulers of the adapt chamber? Here you go, these Negroes making up stuff. Of the Moorish Science Temple of America, sheiks with powers and duties similar to that of a trustee. Did you hear what I just said? Sheiks and sheiks with powers and duties similar to a trustee. Think about it. Do the wordplay. So if you got sheiks and sheiks similar to the powers of a trustee, then you got to know the duality of state and all that, which we're going to talk about. And then you got to understand the religious rights. Listen to what the CCRD said. Response. It is my understanding that the current sheiks of the Moorish Science Temple of America are reflected in a recorded document, that amended document 1010-5905. If there were any changes to the trustees of this organization that are not reflected in these documents, the CCRD would not be aware of them. Is the office aware that only the founder, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, has the authority to issue document 1010-5905? As such has been the case since 8/1/1929. Here go the response. Although I am unclear what you mean by issuing the document, but part of the recorder's duties include maintaining recorded documents and providing certified and non-certified copies of recorded documents for sale to the public. See the law 55 ILCS 5-4-12002. So what they saying, man, I don't know what the hell you talk about with this crazy shit. Then the next question, is this office aware that the unauthorized issuance and collections of funds resulting from this issuance constitutes a breach of registered fiduciary duty as custodian, criminals, fraud, embezzlement, etc.? What they saying is so fucking stupid. Because that's just like if you got subordinate churches. What do you mean the people collecting? If you're a religious organization, what the hell is you talking about? Listen to their response. Listen to the CCRD response to these goofy clowns. Your position is legally and factually incorrect. Please see the relevant statutory authority referenced above. In some of your other correspondence, you indicate that the CCRD has refused to file certain real estate and non-real estate related documents and index them under the trust 1010-5905. To be clear, document 1010-5905 is not a trust document. This document is simply an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporation Act. What this means is that the document serves as a record that the Moorish Science Temple of America is organized, incorporated as a religious corporation under the Religious Corporations Act. The CCRD is not a trustee of any trust or trust assets maintained by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. That responsibility lies with the Moorish Science Temple of America. If you are having difficulty recording certain documents in our office, please refer to the recording requirements referred in the legal authority cited above. Finally, you indicate that you would like the MSTA to place employees in the CCRD for various purposes. State law clearly indicates that you have no authority to demand that you employ members of your congregation in our office. The recorder has the right to control the internal operations of her office. See the law 55 ILCS 5-3-5005-2. If you have any further questions regarding this letter, please submit them in writing to me, James.Gleff@Cook County. James Gleff, Chief Legal Counsel, Cook County Recorder of Deeds. So don't get mad at me. It's right, this right here in your face. Then I'm gonna give a little bit about the Holy Nation State, where more just be making stuff up. And then I'm done. Every Moor should want to rock with this. These are the teachings of Noble Drew Ali as expressed by the Supreme Grand Body and the Council. And the authority that's invested in me. I ain't got to get all the love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I ain't got to get all of that. I'll get into the meat and potatoes. Let me get to the good part. So let's stop begging for stuff like our prophet said, because the prophet is keeping the European here long enough here to teach us how to run a government. And this is what we should learn how to do today. So I'm coming to y'all with this science, and I'm illuminated. And our mission is to uplift fallen humanity. All nations have missions to fulfill. And we will all appoint missionaries. I'm a missionary. I'm appointed to make certain that those missions are taken care of. You can't be a missionary without a mission. The missionaries that came to colonize, they came to colonize you. They had a freaking mission. My mission is to resurrect y'all Moors by the sound of my voice. What's wrong with that? So I want all the Moors to take from this science what I'm about to give y'all, and understanding the knowledge of this free national government being incorporated under the Hurd-Smith revised status of state of Illinois as an ecclesiastical body politic. Thank for the donation, Noble. And the state of Illinois as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. That the Vatican state was incorporated under this particular act as well since 1929, family. And in this science that I'm going to illuminate, it's going to illuminate that. So when I talk about state, watch me break down this duality of state. When I talk about the definition of a state is a people permanently occupying a fixed territory bound together by common law, habits, customs into one body politic, exercising through the medium of an organized government, independent sovereignty. That means all of us, not no sovereign citizen goofy stuff. And control over all persons and things within its boundaries, capable of making war and peace, and of entering into international relations with other communities of the globe. A political unity. Concretely viewed, a state is a body politic possessing sovereignty. Any body politic possessing sovereignty is entitled to be called a state. So this is a good characteristic to describe the Moorish Science Temple of America and what we're doing. See, the people described in the state would be described as the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America or the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple of America. And by the definition of state, the fixed territory of our state would be northwest, southwest, northeast, and northwest of Mexico. And the common law habits would be focused towards our practices. In Chapter 32 of the Hurd-Smith revised status of the state of Illinois, by the definition, Moors, of a state, the character who would have independent sovereignty in our state is our Prophet Noble Drew Ali family. The Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali is a true sovereign. Moorish Science Temple of America is a sovereign body. The Burning Bush Tabernacle is a sovereign body. Listen to the science. We are not sovereigns, but members of a sovereign body politic and corporate. So when you compare, or in comparison, Morris, with the term state, family, now we have to define the term body politic, family. So body politic is defined as a social compact by which the whole people covenant with each citizen, and each citizen with the whole people, that all shall be governed by certain laws of the common good. Also a term applied to a municipal, a corporation, a school district, a county, a city, a state, or a public association. Are y'all walking with me, man? We talking science. We ain't gonna play with people. So when you look at the term government, family, you can see that the term has a connection with the term state, body politic, and body corporate. And then you can understand or understand whatever catchphrase you want to use, that the similarities of these particular terms. So when we talk about the government, when we talk about the word government, it derived from the Latin term gubernaculums, G-U-B-E-R-N-A-C-U-L-U-M-S, which is defined as a system of polity or polity in a state, that form of fundamental rules and principles by which a nation or state is governed. Polity is the form of government, whether theocracy, federal, or anarchy. There are many forms of governments, but the particular form of government that the Moorish Science Temple of America is known is a theocracy. Theocracy, Theocracy, is defined as a government of a state by the immediate direction of God, or by assumed direction of a divinity, or the state that's governed Moors. So as a member of this body politic, we recognize that the Creator, the God Allah, alone guides this divine national movement, family. So a theocratic entity, it differs from the form of a secular entity, family. And the Moorish Science Temple of America, the Burning Bush Tabernacle of America, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple of School, is a divine and national movement that has divine laws and holy laws that each member are to uphold and preserve. And if they are to earn the name of the faithful, as afforded by Act 7 of our Moorish divine constitution and bylaws, family. You can't make this stuff up as you go. So the Moorish Science Temple of America was established as a religious corporation by filing the affidavit of organization. Documentation 1010-5905, Form 1099, recorded in the Recorder of Deeds office in the County of Cook, State of Illinois, on August 1st, 1929, AD at 2:52 p.m. I don't want to get off the subject when I talk about that supreme mathematics, that 252, that adds up to 9. I'll break it down later. But at the time, through the affidavit, the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali gave birth to a free national government as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate under the revised status of the state of Illinois, chapter 36, section 36. Come on, look at the 9 and the 9. Come on, man. Come on, Morris. They just be playing with y'all. I'm gonna connect the science all day. And then you check out the science, July 20th, 1928, and that was on the third day in the beginning of a new moon during the sign of Virgo, August 1st, 1928. And that was the day of a full moon. That ain't by coincidence. The time and all that stuff. How the prophet held the meeting, the affidavit that was notarized and recorded the affidavit on August 1st, 1928 AD at 2:52 p.m. And the Heard Smith Revised Status, chapter 32, an act concerning corporations, section 36, Religious Corporation Act, it played a huge origin on establishing the Moorish Science Temple of America as an ecclesiastical body politic and corporate. So how can any subordinate temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America not operate under the Heard Smith Revised Status, chapter 32, section 36? Because this act clearly states that any church, congregation, or society formed for the purpose of religious worship may become incorporated in the matter by follows, not by electing, our prophet crossed electing out, by appointing according to the usage or the customs at any meeting held for that purpose. 2 or more trustees, warden, or vestrymen, or such officers who hold powers and duties are similar to those of trustees, as shall be agreeable to the usage and customs. Rulers of regulations of such congregation, church, or society, and may adapt a corporate name, and upon filing the affidavit, as hereinafter provided it shall be and remain a body politic and corporate, by name so adopted. Research the law, P.A. 81-1509. So when you can see, when you open your eyes and when you study the Religious Corporation Act, and then you glance at the affidavit of organization, which is the original form, number 1099, you can see that our Prophet Noble Drew Ali followed the substantial form of this revised status and then expressly organized an ecclesiastical body politic. Look at this science of the Prophet. And corporate, known as the Moorish Science Temple of America, by that name so adopted. But let's speed it up. Watch this. You got to have a lot of these Moors. They might ask, how was this body politic and corporate duly established? And the answer is simple. By filing the County of Cook Recorder of Deeds office, an affidavit substantially expressed by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself, being the presiding officer. He sworn that the meeting and the time and all that. Come on, y'all know that, right? Stated facts of our power and authority and having the sheiks duly appointed, anointed, and consecrated. It's also known as our authority, but it's really the title of the affidavit of organization. And by the definition, family, organization can include a wide range of entities. An organization, Moors, is defined as what? Corporation, governmental subdivision, agency, a trust, estate, partnership, an association, two or more persons having a joint interest, or any other legal or commercial entity. So when we get deeper, in order to organize as an ecclesiastical body politic, family, and a corporate, at that time, a church, society, or congregation pursuant to the laws of the Hearst-Smith revised status of the state of the Illinois, the affiant or the person had, or the group had to follow the office of the recorder of deeds and affidavit. So you can't make up no new temples. All the temples is how they should be. Following the form of the Hearst Religious Society Act of 1872, Charter 32, Section 36, codified by the General Assembly. Period. I mean, here go to read all in the state booklet. The booklet is all the original stuff. So you can't get mad at what it is. The customs and usages, the covenant and our oath. A covenant of a citizen is an agreement or promise of two or more parties by deed in writing, signed, and delivered, by which either of the parties pledge himself to the other that something is either done or shall be done or shall not be done, or stipulates for the truth of a certain facts. So as Moorish Americans here in the Mexican now, commonly known as America, under the divine leadership of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we are to attend to covenant and to put in place under this body politic, and it's one covenant for the unity of the Asiatic nation, and the covenant is known as a holy covenant of the Asiatic nation, and this is a reference to chapter 25 of our Holy Quran. You know what I mean? So when you covenant through the holy, when you covenant Moors through the holy covenant of the Asiatic nations, you covenant with the whole people, and the whole people covenant with you. To the covenant is to make a pledge. A pledge is to have a broad definition, but the main focus for now, where we're going, is that it is a promise or an agreement by which one binds himself or herself to do or forbears himself or herself to do or forbear something. The promise or agreement are for the conditions of the pledge itself. So when thinking about it, Moors, U.S. citizenship, you personally used to wonder why the 14th Amendment citizens pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. But unfortunately, Moors, U.S. citizens think that being born here makes you a citizen. And this is not true. The U.S. citizens are naturalized. The U.S. citizens are naturalized. I'm telling you, man, the U.S. citizens are naturalized, but not nationalized. I mean, I'll show you where all this stuff come from. I'll bring out all the old teachings. Don't get mad at me. Nationalize or nationalize. I mean, nationalize or nationalization. Y'all don't even know where all this come from. Who gave this stuff to you? What governments came and gave you things? Y'all don't know. Y'all don't even know. That's why I was wondering why the 14th Amendment citizens pledged their allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. But U.S. citizens, when you think you're born here, that don't make you a citizen. Excuse me. And that's not true. Think about the science. U.S. citizens are naturalized, but not nationalized. And that's a big difference. And I dig with that deeper. But to lawfully be a subject or a citizen of any form of government, depending on the rules and customs of that society under its constitution and government, one must subscribe and take an oath to its constitution and government. And this goes for proclaimed Moorish Americans as well. And by taking an oath of amnesty and reconstruction of the Emancipation Proclamation, an executive order issued by President Abraham Lincoln in 1865. You are a true American citizen, and this oath is to be subscribed by a Grand Sheik, which is an officer lawfully authorized to administer such an oath, and then such an oath has to be recorded in the county. So when a member of this body politic and corporate takes an oath of amnesty and reconstruction, he or she becomes part and parcel of this said government and returns back to the family of nation, which is the Asiatic nation. Islam, let me get peculiar with the science and specific. So the term said in this science, it denotes something. Denotes. It denotes something. Declared or before mentioned. So on your nationality card, Noble Drew Ali declared you are a Muslim under the divine law of the Quran of Mecca, love, true peace, freedom, and justice. Then he's shown you that you are a citizen of the U.S.A in caps, coming out of a rebellious state. You have to take the said oath to be a citizen of the perpetual union again. So the term said government, and all this already been done. The term said government has been used in the Moorish divine constitution and bylaws a couple of times, Moors, in Act 4, 6, 7, and it denotes a government in a former time. It denotes a government in a former time. To be part of the said government is to be an equivalent of, whether citizen, subject, or even property through citizenship or nationalization. So the term parcel family, it refers to a part or portion of land, a part of an estate. Parcel family, as used with reference to land, generally means a contagious quantity or a part or a piece or a quantity of land in the possession of the owner. The estate that we partly own, I dig in that deeper, for you won't get all misconstrued. So you got to understand what I'm saying. To be part and parcel of this said government is to be a member of the perpetual union of the USA and in the existing rebellion like the Confederacy. And this is why members who take an oath of amnesty and reconstruction are congratulated and welcomed back to the family of nations. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. And this is the true USA Republic form of government in this land of our ancestors here in the Maxima, which is America. The question in mind, Moors, is I'm asked all Moors by taking the oath, the covenant, and proclaiming your nationality as a Moorish American under Act 6, are we members of two states, the Perpetual Union and the Moorish Zion Temple of America? Watch this. It should make you think how deep the prophet was. And the answer in science is yes and no. You got to understand that you're true citizens of something. And y'all, you let people play a game with you. If they say they Moorish Zion Temple of America, they should be like, yep, that's valid. How is a Moorish American duly a member of a sovereign body politic? Easy. It has to be conditions, Moors, set for members intended by the founder for both agreed upon. And if this is to be successfully to take place, Act 6 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and Bylaws of the Moorish Zion Temple of America is the agreement between the members and the founder. Is this not a pledge as well? Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali expressed that to be a Moorish American member of this body politic, you have to proclaim it, right? Teach our people their nationality, right? Which is Moorish American, and their divine creed, which is faith of Muhammad. To know that they are not Negro, blacks, or colored, or Ethiopians, and proclaim a free national name, El Bay, and in exchange the person and effects will be redeemed by the Holy Prophet and an inhabitant of the north and southwestern shores of Africa. That's why you got to study maritime and admiralty laws. And this is a beautiful position to be proud of, Moors. I'm thankful to be a Moorish American. When I say I'm proud to be a Moorish American and member of this body politic, you got to understand what fee simple absolute and how it's defined as an estate limited absolute to a man and his heirs and assigns forever without limitation and condition. An absolute, when I say absolute, absolute or fee simple estate is one in which the owner is entitled to the whole property with unconditional power or disposition during one's life and descending to the heirs. That means when the flesh gone, it descends to the heirs and legal representatives. Upon one's death, they come in place. Such estate is unlimited as to duration, disposition, right, and descendability. The fee simple absolute man or grantor of our estate would be our prophet Noble Drew Ali, and their heirs would be the Moorish Americans with the free simple name El or Bey, annexed to their birth name. Ain't nobody telling you to get rid of your last name. That's fraud. That's that Al-Islam Muslim stuff. Annex your free national name. So be careful not to throw away your name for a morsel of bread. Since our prophet Noble Drew Ali is the owner of the whole property, his position of the estate is the holder in due course. Holder in due course, Moors, is defined as a holder who takes an instrument for value in good faith and without notice that it is overdue or has been dishonored or of any defense against or claim to it on the part of any person. A payee may be a holder in due course. As the Moorish American beneficiaries, our prophet Noble Drew Ali is the holder in due course of any and all lawful instruments, real or personal estates, tenements, and herdiments of the Moorish Science Temple of America, because he is the owner of the whole or entire property. If he started it, once it is transferred to him, and this is likewise when the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali grants the land described to us. A transfer of land lawfully takes place when one falls in accordance with the deed of conveyance and the fee simple absolute deed. Act 6 of the Moorish Divine Constitution and bylaws is our deed of conveyance. Act 6. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now. And all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained our prophet Noble Drew Ali and ordained me in the flesh to redeem his people and our people from our sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites who inhabited the northwestern shores, the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Also, Moors, we also got to know that there is such a confusion as far as what land is the Moorish Science Temple of America. And this particular land is described as the 1928 vast estate in our Holy Quran, chapter 47, verse 1 through 7. Verse 1 through 6 is the biblical description of the landmass, and 7 is the geographical landmass of the fee simple absolute. And this is what is known as the lawful description of the land. And it's best to use longitude and latitude when describing the land coordinates by metes and bounds, Moors. And all our lives, Moors, you all been taught to describe parcels by lot, block, subdivisions, or an assessor's pin number. And this is what's known as a graveyard cemetery description. I promise you. What better way than to describe unconscious people dead in the eyes of the law? And this graveyard cemetery description only exists legally within the realm of the U.S. And this is how you were plucked off the land. Read Deuteronomy 28 and 63 in your Bible. Read Deuteronomy 28:63 in your Bible. So do not think that the state of Illinois actually consists geographically within the boundaries of the present Moroccan Empire. And this is not to defame the body corporate known as the U.S., but it is a fiction constructed out of the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. So the fee simple absolute name of our land is a Amexima, and it extends throughout northwest and southeast and northwest and southwest Africa. And Amexima is the first true and divine name of Africa. So by what means can we determine that this is attested? The true name of the land, our Holy Quran, chapter 47. Egypt, the capital empire of the dominion of Africa. We go through all that. The inhabitants of Africa. I don't want to go through all that. You look in Genesis 45, 17 and 25. Inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. This is your biblical Bible. Genesis 13 and 15. Old man Cush and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa who came from the land of Canaan. Genesis 10 and 6. Genesis 9 and 18. Genesis 10, 15 and 19. His father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which means the demarcation line of the dominion of Amexima, the first true and divine name of Africa, the dividing of the land between the father and the son. Read Genesis 2 and 13. Read Genesis 15 and 18. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father's dominion of Africa. Genesis 13 and 14. In the later years, many of their brethren from Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. The Moabites from the land of Moab, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle in the inhabited northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan, seeking new homes. That's in Genesis 45, verse 17-25. Their dominion and inhabitant extended from northeast and southwest Africa, across Great Atlantis, even unto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake, which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. So from reading your Bible that y'all love, that your grandma got on the shelf, from reading these Bible scriptures and the divine instruction of our Holy Quran, Circle 7, you can understand how both connect with each other. Verse 7 is described by metes and bounds of the said fee simple absolute. Now that you know that we are the inheritors, Moors, of all of the land described, how do you receive it? It has to be received through a trust. All the world know what I'm saying. Persons, trust, title of the holy state. So in the topic, stay in the context. First, we will go into sheiks of the Moorish Temple of America. And then I'm going to get to the next topic and I'm done. There shall be 2 or more of its members as trustees. Y'all got to know that. Our prophet crossed out elected and he put appointed. So let's look at the term appointed. Appointed means to assign authority to a particular use, task, position, or office. This is also why our prophet uses the term appointed. The power and authority was given to those sheiks who were appointed and consecrated missionaries. Those who want power and authority will have to go through the prophet. All who gain power and authority from the prophet should stay humble. And I don't like the word humble. Should continue to give gratitude. Because I research words. I correct things. I ain't rocking with that humble. Should continue to give gratitude. And they shall be rewarded. What types of entities were appointed? Persons. Notice that the term person on the affidavit of our organization was in all caps. And most people will ridiculously express this. This is what these Negroes will say. You didn't know that, did you? What? Sheiks are what is considered interested persons? You didn't know that, did you? Which include heirs, children, devices, spouses, creditors, beneficiaries, and any other having a property right in or claim against a trust estate or the estate of a descendant, a ward, or protected person which may be affected by the proceedings. It also includes persons having priority for appointment as personal representatives and other fiduciaries representing interested persons. So the meaning as it relates to particular persons may vary from time to time and must be determined according to the particular purposes of and matter involving in any proceeding. So to act on behalf of a person, you can carry out and enforce the functions of that person. Under the state of whatever, you were authorized by them to act as an agent. And y'all ain't get what I'm saying. That's trust law. You got express law. And I don't want to state everything in too deep, but I just wanted to touch bases with y'all a little bit. Did y'all know that the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution is not applicable to you? It's also a deed of conveyance. If a Moorish American proclaimed U.S. citizenship under the 14th Amendment, he takes on or she takes on a Christian title and a religious creed of Christianity. The state would be the claimant over the person. That title given by the claimant is simply the last name of the Christian so-called slave holder during this time. That's why you must annex your B and your L to that name. Does a Muslim who takes a Christian name as his own and gets anointed through a Christian baptism obtain citizenship as a Christian subject or citizen? Yes. Would that Muslim who was converted a Christian fall in accordance with honoring his or her Muslim foremother and forefathers? No, because this are not the nature of our Moroccan ancestors, and it is in contradiction with knowing thyself. This is why it is very important to study thyself and amend thy ways. Be the Muslim that you are, for it is written that every nation shall and must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and return to their own, and be one with their Father God Allah. As this states in our Holy Quran, chapter 48, verse 7. Therefore, we are returning to the church and the Christian and Christianity, back to the European, back to the Albion nations, as it was prepared by their forefathers for their earthly salvation. Then in verse 8, it states, while we, the Moorish Americans, are returning back to Islam, which was founded by our forefathers for our earthly and divine salvation. You got to understand the covenant of the great God Allah in verse 9. The covenant of the great God Allah is honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be longer upon thy earth land, which the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee. And our ancestors honored their ancestors by carrying the noble titles of El and Bey as their family names. And this was done to distinguish Moroccans from other nations of the earth. But for Moors who want to use the titles of Ali, Al, and Day, you cannot connect back to the vast estate or the Moorish Science Temple of America using those titles. And they are not declared free national names by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I'm not the one to say that. I'm just telling you, if they the temple, you can use those names, but the El and Bey is used as the free national names. The only free national name available in this new era of time are El and Bey. And you cannot partake in the trust by using the names Ali, El, El Ali, Ali Bey, Bey Ali, those things, El Day, El Bey, Bey El then Bey, Bey El, Day El. We can use those for personal titles. But on our records and things, it should just be Bey. Just like my ID. I'm an El Bey because I'm a judge and executioner. But on my things, I'm just Bey. It don't work in conjunction with the condition of the express trust duly established by the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and also in conjunction to the rules and laws of the Moorish Science Temple of America. So if you were born, I'll give an analogy, John Doe, then annex Bey or L to John Doe, and you would be John Doe Bey or John Doe L. When you sign as John Doe A, Bey or John Doe L, whichever pertains to you. And also under the Trading with the Enemies Act, Title 50, 4B, it's a crime to change your name. We seek to save your mother's baby, not some made-up invention you created. And by changing your name, you abandon your birthrights. You also break the divine law. Your mother gave you your name. The law of nature, as well as the ancient law, states that that's your essence. And you violate the invention of your mother and the patent rights to her baby. Changing your name does not honor your forefathers. It just makes you look like you are stealing a person's or changing your identity to hide something. Your mother's child. So whoever told you to get rid of your last name, that's fraud. You don't know about your coat of arms or your family crest? Psh, sad, sad, sad. Because you think you a slave. This is kidnapping and a violation of the human rights. That's why the European or the Albion must pay for what has been done to you. And you can trace their treachery in the birth records of our people by our names, and also by the old census records. Honor your mother and your holy prophet and your ancestors. Use the name your mother gave you with your El or your Bay. And under the Moorish divine constitution and bylaws of the Moorish Zion Temple of America, you have free national standards by proclaiming your nationality, status, classification, religion, divine creed, and free national name. So to be free is to be subject to legal constraint of another. But in reality, we are subject to the sovereign power of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if a Moorish American does not like being under the subject of our Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, don't complain. Just return your nationality card and all that and return to the state you were. I'm not here to help the status of a beggar nation, but here to teach you how to uplift fallen humanity. And being unconstrained is having power to follow the dictates of your own will. But remember, we are not following the things of our heart, but of our Father Allah. Because we align with our Father Allah, who is in our hearts. And all of the credentials are adopted when a member proclaims his or her nationality according to Act 6 under the Moorish Divine Constitution and bylaws. And by reading this act, Moorish, you cannot be a member of this state without proclaiming your nationality and taking on a free national name of your own. Then you will be able to prove in society that free national standards make the man. So I ain't even gonna, like I said, I'm gonna leave that right there. Because I can go on and on with the state booklet, with the federal rules and all this stuff, and all these Moors know exactly what I'm talking about if they're gonna operate righteously, but they just operating arbitrarily. And I ain't even gonna get into all that. That's enough of that. I'll lead y'all with this, and I'm gonna come from the clock of destiny. I'll leave y'all with this. Thanks for the donation, Moors. For my nobles asking me when people talk about some temple nationalize you and all this, I'm like, that's fraud. So let's get rid of it. Let's get with it. This book right here, man, reveals all the things, the laws, everything. Correct all the garbage that these Moors just be making up. So I want to get to just the quick science of it. Dirty Moors have been busy burying us as a people, just as the Prophet Noble Drew Ali warned. They will take this movement down so low it will disappear from the face of the earth. You Moors won't know I have been here. For 15 years, the author, with the brother that was writing, he was a member of the temple, blah, 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 blah. But what he's saying is that, what he's trying to tell you, that nobody can nationalize you. And all this stuff is a lie, you know? And it's following the three-leader successorship of past moderates, beginning with the first post-Drew Ali Freemason named Charles Kirkman Bey, Love L2, claimed to have the power to make Moorish Americans out of members, divine ministers out of sheiks, and adepts out of officials. To make a man as one can make a mason is the practice of Freemasonry at its most unscrupulous heights. To nationalize, make, or denationalize any human is both a sin and a crime. No God, prophet, or grand man has the power to nationalize any man, woman, or child, and those that have taken away a man's true identity are criminals. This practice gave the U.S. courts and outside world the illusion that the Moorish Zion Temple of America was just a religion whose members under its tenets were nationalized with the name Moorish American and loaned the organizational marks Bay and L. Needless to say, this nationalization hoodwinking was never empowered or practiced by Prophet Noble Drew Ali or any other upright man. No man has the power to nationalize another man. This would change him from the descendant nature of his forefathers. If one can make, which is nationalize, a Moorish American, one can also make a Chinese or Irish or Sudanese at will. Ask them that. This act brought to light a 75-year practice of clandestine cultism within the various Moorish Zion Temple of America groups, showing how it has systematically denounced 98% of its members as non-Moorish or repo their tribal names, Bay or El. An entity that eats its young can never be prosperous. This is why John Doe public of today knows nothing about the true uplifting duties of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Due to the national inactivity of the Moorish officials, there are today over 60 million so-called Negro, blacks, and colored people, which we call NBCs, who do not know the great God of their forefathers ordained to them, a Redeemer. They all deserve to know these truths and make a choice. This is the main reason why the writer would never give authority or jurisdiction to somebody else. We ain't here to slander nobody. We're here to tell the truth. And choices are for the free. And my decision stands upon the principles of love. So as a charter organization, all Moorish Science Temples, as a charter organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America constitutional limitations are restricted to only teach its members their nationality and their divine creed. So these Moors talk about they some, what they call themselves? Some master writ writer. That ain't no title in the temple. That's some garbage you made up. As a chartered organization, the Moorish Science Temple of America constitutional limitations are restricted to only teach its members their nationality and divine creed. This is the only way for it to live out its purpose, the uplifting of fallen humanity. From its inception in 1913, the noble group was never intended to be recognized as a national government, Islamic sect, secret order, or as a religion. Yet today, the Moorish Science Temple of America is widely known and accepted as its founder has been reduced from a prophet of Allah to a shriner, just like Negroes try to do me. They try to reduce you from a prophet of Allah to a shriner, and a copy copied us. Our fez is the most highly respected headdress in the world, and is worn mostly in secrecy, like in shameless thieves and blue lodges. So I just want to leave that right there, man. I just want to leave that right there. I ain't even going to illuminate the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment to really show what that's about. I'll do that tomorrow, man. I ain't even going to get into the other part neither, because I'm done. If any Moors want to hear teachings, I'm teaching it. And Moors don't want to give a donation, that's fine. You would be blocked. It's no problem. We go in private, because you've been miseducated all your life, and I ain't coming from nobody's place. That's why Moors don't know the difference from nationalize or nationalization. I'll give you just a little bit. The word nationalize or nationalization here in America will be, I'm gonna go deeper in that in the science, but I just want to touch about this and why it's necessary. But a brief clarification on how these words were developed is this, and I quote, "These words were programmed on our minds in 1942 by an official, a major in the national headquarters, the Selective Service System. This headquarters was located on 21st and C Street, Northwest Washington, D.C. at that time. And we were sent to that office by the state headquarters over Maryland because his local board made a ruling that we Moorish people were Negro, black, colored, and Ethiopian. The state director said to change that ruling, a proclamation had to be handed down from the national headquarters of Selective Service Systems of Washington, D.C. We were sent to confer with General Hearsay, but the general was not in. 3 years later, we did confer with the general. At that time, we were referred to a major. After the major heard our complaints, he told us that our complaints were deeper than he could dream. We asked the major, did he thoroughly understand our problem, and if he did, make us know it. The major said, when the Germans took over Czechoslovakia, the Germans nationalized the conquered people according to the German laws. When America conquered you people, America made slaves out of you people. Tell Drew Ali to send into this headquarters all available proof of you people being Moorish Americans. We showed the major Form 1099 and the 6th Act of the law inside. The major said, this is it, leave it with me, and I will run it to Chicago and get the attachments. We told the major we had no orders. We had no orders to leave the book of our authority 1099. The major said, tell the Drew Ali to send it into the headquarters. We will send it over to the Justice Department and make law out of it. And you can talk it all you want to. The major called up the state headquarters in Maryland and authorized our change. Then the major said, in time, this headquarters will make all the slave Moorish Americans. It will take days, weeks, months, and years. He vowed that the people will be nationalized. We asked the major to put it in writing. The major did. He gave us a slip, and on the slip it stated, write the national headquarters and submit all available proof why the slaves are Moorish Americans. The major was talking with such a deep wisdom. I imagined in my mind that he was Jesus, blah, 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 blah. But I want to leave that right there just to let you know a lot of stuff been done. I got official letters, all type of stuff, man. So I'm done. Any questions, Morris? I'm done. I'm putting together a package for Moors, man, because my elder sat me down and told me, he was like, provide fezzes for Moors. If they don't want to learn the science, that's sad. At least they'll wear the fez. But you should want to learn the science from a real sheik, not just get the fez and wear it. So we putting together a fez package. It's going to consist of a couple $100, but it's going to come with so much goodies. It's going to come with your Moorish American Allah button, your Moorish American like your keychain, your Moorish American necklace. It's going to come with a turban it's going to come with a turban. It's going to come with your fez. It's going to come with your sage and your cedar and a lighter for you can purify things. It's going to come with your spiritual bracelet. It's going to come, if you're an empress, it's going to come with a moire shirt and a headband. If you're a noble, it's going to come with your noble shirt and your noble hat. You're going to get my fez book about the esoteric science of the fez, and it's going to come with your Moorish Quran. That's going to come in that complete fez package. You get all those goodies. You should want to become a student. You should want to support what we're doing. You're going to have the same package for the empresses. We got a lot of stuff coming. Brothers got beards. We got packages, groom and kit packages that we're going to put together. It's going to be amazing. A lot of the stuff y'all going to see at our meet and greet in Vegas in January. So we're providing a lot of stuff for ourselves. Our members' coats, our jogging suits. And I don't want to put one foot before the other, but we're going to have our temple in Vegas real soon. If everybody keep doing what we're doing, we're going to be having our first corporate body in Vegas. So with that being said, Morris, any questions? Thanks for the donations, family. Any questions? Any questions? I operate on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and we're building over here. The Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, we are the upper echelon of the Moors. We're going to have our own culture. We have the rights, the religious rights. Say we have the right to nationalize. Our charter and our warrant, how I'm organized, my nonprofit status, we're tax exempt, federal, religious, scientific, educational, charitable. We can do this, and we can pull ourselves up by our bootstraps with donations. It don't take no whole bunch of fancy stuff. It take the right people doing things on a small level first, and then we can grow because we are the people. Any questions, family? Any questions? Moors, get your fez packages, man. They coming. They coming. And when you get that, you should want to know about that fez that you have on your head. You should want to be a part of a body. You should want to be a part of what we're doing. You should take trips to Vegas when we get the temple out there and be a part of what we're doing. We're going to have a Moorish community center that's going to help people in a particular neighborhood in Vegas. And then we're going to build subordinate temples in each city that my brothers live. I got young nobles moving around their elder, man. We taking off. Any questions, man? I thank y'all for all the donations. And it does take funds. It does take funds to build something. I'm a Buddha. I'm transparent. I promise y'all, Morris, if we focus and we look with our eyes straight ahead and allow me to lead and we support it, all of us that's in position, we will be in position to provide for our people. We will be able to change our infrastructure. And we don't have to go beg nobody for nothing. We can create our own because it's enough of us. It's enough of us, man. I can show us, look. Man, it's so many ways that we can. Let me just show y'all a little business thing that I do with some of my people, and I ain't even gonna talk about. And A Sharp, we was talking about it when I was in Vegas, but a lot of stuff I don't talk about because I don't like to tell a lot of my business endeavors. When we talk about that will, and say for instance, you, my brother, and you got a good business, and we rocking with you, but you don't got all the money. So this month, we putting that pot in And every month you get that 500. So this month you got 500. Well, the next month, the next person got the 500. The next month, the other person got the 500. And we building our brands. We're helping each other. Cause I'm getting ready to put all my people on. Cause I got all the products. They just gonna sell the products that I have. Cause that's what I do. My brothers and sisters not consumers. We gonna get money together. I'm creating us to be bosses. None of my people are consumers. So the products that I have, all the stuff that I have, my members are gonna have it, and they're gonna make a profit too. But it's so many ways to generate funds within the house. Yeah, we know it's a trying time, but we ain't worried about the ones that don't have. We help those that don't have. It's those of us that do have and smart with what we're doing, and we can create our own conglomerate. And that wheel is so beautiful. Every month, boom, that person getting that 500. Boom, boom, that person get that 500. If you ain't ready to do nothing, you don't be greedy just to take 500, because we looking on you to produce your business. You should already have a business plan. We ain't just producing something or giving something that you got in your brain. We got to see that business plan. And boom, when we turn that over, we creating wealth. Then I'm showing y'all seminars how to create your own EIN. Your business ID, and have your own business credit. Show you how to get quick 30s, and now you're operating as a business. And then we take our classes where we learn the stock market. I got the books for it. I can't guarantee you nothing. I never tell nobody I can guarantee this on your ROI. I can teach you how to do the strategy. I can teach you how to read the stock market. I can teach you everything from successful people that's done this. And then it's on you to do that. And we can teach somebody young to do this. This is what this is about, our incubator. It ain't about me having a whole bunch of stuff and charging you $1 million to do something. No, it's about us having donations and people paying a small fee so we can teach these classes for all of us can be right. Islam, any questions, family? I'm done. Any questions? Any questions? I love everybody, man. Please become students. In the new year, in the middle of January, all our classes starting over. It's going to be systematically teachings. It's going to be totally different. We're doing something different with our classes. I'm going to be putting a lot of members that's going to be teaching the introduction classes, because we got 7 lesson books. We got Life, Liberty, and Pursuit of Happiness books. We got UCC books. So all my classes are going to be teaching on a rotation for new students can come in. We're going to be having graduations and all that stuff, man, to where we can build. And we still have our spiritual house. So once you become a member, those small dues coming in each month, which is $2.10 a month from each member, which ain't nothing but $7 a day. You part of the book club. You get all books and stuff for $5. That costs expensive. All that. And you should want to help the body, because we're going to be a Moorish community center doing real work. Our doors is not going to be closed. We're going to be open 7 days a week at the temple. I'm telling you. And we're going to be doing real things. So with that being said, man, I love y'all, man. Moorish, that's part of our schooling and things, our Moorish ball coming in January. Get with me. I know y'all seen our bags. All I want all our nobles to have, and our ascot ties, so we can look synchronized. I'm telling y'all. And when our event Moorish that's not part of our movement, watch how you see all of us nobles synchronizing together, us and our empresses. Watch how you see how a Buddha and a real sheikh bring us families together, and we start owning things. Watch you see us in Vegas with our big temple, our Moorish Community Center, and we start buying real estate in our community. And then you start seeing businesses pop up in Vegas right around our temple. Watch. Watch. I promise you this. I've been waiting for my family. It's enough of us that got pennies. I love y'all, man. Love, truth, peace, freedom, justice, Moors, my 2 cents, Moors, health and wealth. Is there any questions? Is there any questions? Because I'm full. I'm sure you full. And it's a bigger mission, man. I never tell you to do nothing, but I tell you, anything you do, be smart. And don't do nothing just because someone tell you. Investigate everything. Research everything. Because you should never go in nothing blind based off emotion and feeling. And that's especially when it comes down investing in something that you never even deal about, the stock market and all this. Somebody telling you invest in this. The first thing that I would tell you to do is educate yourself on it. And I want to educate you on it. I got the manuals to teach you about the stock market. You got to be willing to go through it, and got to be willing to go through the classes. I got it. The way you could correct all these brothers and sisters that be talking this, and you will be able to correct them, and you'll be able to do it yourself. You ain't got to pay these people all these hundreds of thousands of dollars. All you got to do is be a member of what we're doing. Your dues that they're giving through, you're going to be able to go through the class because you're a member. And that's going to be part of our business classes. Just like one of our business classes, I'll show you how to set up your business. And register on the brother Duns and Bradstreet. That's going to be part of our classes. It ain't me for to tell you, I'm going to charge you $4,000. Now, if you're not a member of our schooling, then of course you could come to the temple and pay a fee to take the class. But if you're a member, the class comes with you being a member. But if you're not a member, yes, a fee for you to take the class. Because I got to PDF you the book, and then I got to teach the class. And then it's on you what you do with it. Just like it's on you when I teach you how to set up your business. I'm telling you, can't nobody magically make up nothing. Can't nobody magically tell you no ROI. What we're going to do is educate you on this science. And that's how we're going to restructure this when we start over in January. Our class is going to be systematically on the internet till we get our brick and mortar. I'm going to have my teachers teaching the systematically classes on Zoom. Systematically, virtually, so nobody will miss nothing. And then once we get the physical temple, then we're going to reach to our babies. Because right now, I know it's difficult because your baby's going to school online right now. So we ain't gonna push both of those. You're gonna be able to implement some of the things you learn into your children once we get our temple, once the world start opening back up. Once I have the computer set up there, then my people in Vegas can start teaching the kids virtually and the kids in the city that come. So the classes will be going virtually and you'll be able to see the people there teaching the children and you can log on systematically. It's gonna be beautiful. I'm gonna touch everybody. We're going to still teach virtually classes and we're going to still have physically classes. Just like if you were taking college classes, you're going to have the log on. You're going to be able to log on with your student ID. As you a member and everything, you're going to be able to log on to Sunday school and our spiritual class on Sunday, because that's what you get on Sunday school. You get that more science on Sunday school. What my members get on Saturday is that metaphysics. If Moors want to, they not members online. If Moors want to hear the teachings, all you got to do is give donations. Just like if somebody invited you to the temple and you want a member, you coming. Just like you a member of a church, you're gonna give a donation to the church. So if you hear the lectures and the teachings, give a donation. Once you become a member, then that said and done. So it's that simple. It's nothing wrong with nobody supporting something if it's real. There's nothing wrong with that because we already doing what we say we want to do. We just want to get our brick and mortar so we can provide for our people. We can have land. We can start making our gardens and our greenhouses. I can start showing the youth how to be gardeners, how to plant things. We have our greenhouse. We got our fruits and vegetables and all that. I show my brothers how to be farmers. Our empresses, they start learning how to stitch. Our empresses learn how to stitch. We learn how to make our clothing. So I'm gonna break this stuff down systematically. I teach this, and once our kids get this at a young age, it's gonna be amazing. You never know what our babies want to do. I'm a gardener. I'll tell you, I know this is what I do. In Michigan, I had greenhouses. I show people how to do this stuff. I do this. And so we are restructuring in January. We're restructuring. So our class is going to be taught on a rotation. I'm going to be teaching a strategy, how I set up my businesses and how I operate as a business. I'm going to teach more the stock market. We're going to go through classes. I'm going to teach more gardening classes. I'm going to teach more about gross and net. It's certain classes that I teach systematically, man. Teach us about, it's going to be certain mores that's part of us. We're going to create that wheel. We're going to create businesses in the businesses. When I show y'all mores how to create that wheel, it's better when it's only 5 mores. When 5 mores giving $100 a month and y'all helping each other with y'all businesses. So we got our temple. Say it might be, and I'm just using an analogy, 50 of us. And we break that down in 5s. And all those brothers, we got businesses in our temple. And now we got business surrounded by our temple. And now we own houses and things around our temple. And now we got a Moorish community. I'm telling you, man. And that's how we get ready to take over. So Moors, if you want to be a part of this, help support. We don't have to talk about what nobody doing, none of that fraudulent stuff. We doing what we supposed to do now. I got my members, my body that I started with. I got 20 brothers and sisters. It's going to be some that I'm going to use as my teachers. It's going to be some that I use as my recruiters. And it's going to be some that's going to take the introduction class over. And we have to. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're a student already, you should want to get clarity. You should want to go farther and you ain't clear on the basics. Because I know a lot of us not clear on the basics. So why wouldn't you want to start all over and say, boom, started with the introduction class, reading the Quran. Just get it in the basic of reading the Quran. The first class is reading the whole Quran. Boom, then the next class is understanding or interpreting the Quran. Then the next class is the Quranic study, reading the Quranic study guide. Then understand the Quranic study guide. Then the SO workbook, understanding the SO workbook. Then the discovery key questions, understanding. The damn catechism, understanding. Before you go to the next level. Because a lot of my students, we might not be ready to the next level because I crash course y'all. I took y'all through the adapt chamber when you're not knowing. I put so much on you, and I know all of y'all couldn't retain that. That was on purpose. So now I'm structuring it the right way, the systematic, for you can retain it, for you can become a teacher. And not only you learning from me, you can teach yourself, and you can bring people in the storehouse. And we become bigger and bigger. That's what we doing. I'm building bosses. And I need us, Morris. So with that being said, any other questions, Morris? Any other questions? Are we good? I'll come back tomorrow and illuminate some more of the resurrection, and I'll come back and I'll exhume of the nation, and I'll give it the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment again. I'll correct that. But Morris, if it's on your heart, give a charitable contribution for the teaching, man, because we're getting ready to go private real soon. And I promise you, I'm not going to be on YouTube. You might see a picture and you might see a snippet just to direct you right to our webpage. But that's how we're going to. We're going professional right now. All this is me. My students and my mutas and my body, they're not going to allow me to do this anymore. Everything's going to be structured. Everything's going to be on our Temple and School webpage. So all teachings, you're going to have to come on our webpage to see it. And then you're going to be forced to give a donation. So why not get into the condition of giving a donation now and get used to being a part of us? And so when we go private, you won't be left out. Because we have the right to do this. So I love y'all, man. Islam.